When we move beyond specifically Abdul Carter, how does the rest of this edge class look? You mentioned the name Landon Jackson, late first round out of Arkansas. It's interesting. I just pulled up my Ryan McChrystal, who works at my site and does mock drafts for us. And he, just like you, has Landon Jackson to the Buffalo Bills at pick number 30 late in the first round. So some nice eye to eye between both of you guys. A little mini consensus there on Landon Jackson late first round. But the rest of this edge class, how did they stack up?
It's kind of like the tackle class where there's definitely a few of these guys and really talented, but you could poke holes in them. And we mentioned Shemar Stewart from Texas A&M. You just don't see guys that are this size that can move like that. The burst off the ball, seeing it up close in person at the Senior Bowl was just like, wow, okay, that guy that size is able to get that burst and win angles with that speed. Really impressive. And so, okay, why do you only have 1.5 sacks last year? What do we do with that information? And I think part of it is not being a great backfield finisher. Like even though he had only 1.5 sacks, he led A&M, which is a really strong defensive line team, front seven team. He led that defense in pressures. So he was getting to the quarterback, or he was affecting the pocket. He just wasn't able to get home consistently. And so being a better finisher in the pocket is a big thing for him. And he's still very young. I mean, a lot of these guys are very young. One of the more intriguing prospects in this draft is going to be Jalen Walker from Georgia. And where do you play him? Is he going to be an edge player in the NFL? Is he a true off-ball linebacker? Because when I studied him, the things that he did the best was getting after the quarterback. He was much better going after the quarterback than he was dropping in space and coverage. So for me, he's an edge rusher in this class. I think just in pure talent, it's off the charts. Leadership's off the charts with him too. I think the intangibles are going to help him. His dad, longtime college coach, defensive coordinator at Coastal Carolina for a lot of years. So, I mean, he grew up around the game. He grew up with a coach for a dad. He knows how this works. But I think watching him on that Georgia film, what he did best was when he was able to pin his ears back and go. And I think, you think about Hasson Reddick or Nolan Smith, some of these guys that may be a little bit undersized, but they're shot out of a cannon and they really know how to get after the quarterback. Jalen Walker can be in that same type of mold where you can compare him just to Mikael Williams, their pass rush snaps. Jalen Walker had a much higher winning percentage of getting to the quarterback compared to Mikael Williams, who is more of a true hand-on-the-ground defensive end. So there's a lot of differing opinions on Jalen Walker. Hybrid linebacker, stand him up, what are you doing with him? But I think teams are going to be more than willing to roll the dice and say, look, the talent's there. That's why we pay our coaches all this money. Let's figure it out. And so whether it's the Panthers at 8, or the 49ers at 11, or the Falcons at 15, wherever Jalen Walker ends up going, I think a team's getting a really good player.